different news outlets trying to get their own information, especially with the Epstein stuff that's going on.
We as the American people deserve to have every Epstein file released with no redactions whatsoever, period. I'm pushing for that both privately and publicly, just so you know.
Investigators say Erika Kirk's own mother, Lori Fransby, allegedly sits on Superfeet's board. The odds of that coincidence? Astronomical.
They had a very good relationship. My mom and Charlie were best friends. We joked around that, we joked around that he was the favorite child.
I was living in China and doing a lot of work with victims from trafficking. Work with a orphanage in Romania.
Fresh details have emerged from the shadows of Erika's past, and this time, they don't just involve her. Allegations now suggest a connection to Jeffrey Epstein through her own mother, Lori Fransby, the thread that allegedly ties them together, an organization called Romanian Angels. And here's where it gets darker. Romania, yes, that specific country, has now appeared in recently leaked Epstein documents. So let's talk about money. Epstein-controlled foundations allegedly funneled payments directly into Romania. These funds landed in a Romanian bank account. But here's the problem. The name of the person receiving that money, completely redacted. Investigators online have been piecing this puzzle together on their own. And according to reports, multiple threads are pointing back to one place, Romanian Angels. For a long time, Erika was the only one under the microscope. But newly surfaced photographs are now raising questions about Lori's level of involvement. Some are beginning to wonder, was Lori actually the one orchestrating everything from behind the scenes? Who is Lori Fransby really? And just how deep does this alleged connection between Epstein and Romania actually go?
All week. How many miles do you think we've driven?
721 miles this week.
That's unbelievable.
Let's break this down piece by piece. Epstein's court documents were unsealed not long ago. Financial records within those documents reveal a trail one that leads directly to Romania. U.S. court filings connected to J.P. Morgan and Epstein show that over $30,000 was transferred to Bank of Transylvania, a bank located in Iași, Romania. Once again, the account holder's identity has been scrubbed from the record. Romanian press outlets have since confirmed the authenticity of these documents. Now, where did this money come from? It wasn't just some random wire transfer. The funds originated from something called the COUQ Foundation, an entity allegedly controlled by Epstein himself. And Romania doesn't just appear once in these files. It shows up again and again. Here's what makes this even more troubling. According to the Epstein files, a significant number of his victims reportedly came from Eastern Europe. Romania is listed right alongside countries like Albania, Moldova, and Bulgaria. The documents also reference Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. This suggests something far larger than anyone initially realized, a sprawling international operation. And when Epstein's name is attached to documents like these, it usually means there's far more lurking beneath the surface. So, who exactly is Lori Fransby? On paper, she's a tech entrepreneur with decades of corporate experience. But dig a little deeper, and things start to look unusual. She operates multiple companies with peculiar focuses, and perhaps most notably, she has documented professional ties to both government and military circles. Let's look at her business ventures. Lori founded a company called AZ Tech International. This isn't your average startup. The company provides highly specialized tech solutions and works directly with the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy. It supports government agencies and contractors. This isn't a new relationship either. Lori has a long established history with the US government, and this isn't just speculation. Erika herself confirmed these connections in a 2020 interview. She explained that her family moved to Arizona specifically because of Lori's work. She mentioned the Department of Defense. She mentioned Homeland Security. It's all on record.
So she chose to move to Phoenix from Ohio because there was more of an opportunity for a female business owner out here. Especially from the standpoint of she was getting involved with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense. And so she had other business partners that were out here that were already in that industry, even one that was a mentor of hers. So it was really convenient to be able to come all together in one place to really have that.
But it doesn't stop there. Lori is also allegedly connected to another company called G-Tech. According to claims circulating on social media, this company has been involved in questionable overseas projects. Some allege involvement through defense contractor Raytheon. Whether true or not, these allegations only deepen the cloud of suspicion suspicion.
And remember, Raytheon partnered with Israel's Rafael to build the Iron Dome missile defense system. At the very core of that technology are advanced semiconductors, the same kind of tech Lori's companies claim to work with, and they were contracted with them. Because in 2025, Donald Trump himself pushed for building what he called a gold dome over America, modeled directly after Israel's Iron Dome.
Now, think about this for a moment. Lori has ties to the government. Epstein had ties to the government. The parallels are difficult to ignore. And then there's Charlie. Before his assassination, Charlie spoke openly about these very issues.
Go talk. Let people ask questions. Figure out what the heck is going on. Was Jeffrey Epstein an intelligence asset? Now, the Israeli government has come out and said, nope, he was not one of ours, under no means necessary. So, was he Saudi? Was he MI6? Was he CIA? We do not know. And our audience is really fired up about the story. We've been covering it extensively.
He believed a massive cover-up was taking place. He believed foreign interests were being shielded from scrutiny. He wasn't silent about it.
Lies that Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who is obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz-kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well.
Charlie repeatedly demanded the full release of the Epstein files. He talked about it publicly. He talked about it privately. He even brought it up during one of his final college debates. It mattered to him deeply.
We as the American people deserve to have every Epstein file released with no redactions whatsoever, period. And we the American people ran on transparency. We deserve to see the entire client list. Every document the government has regarding the Epstein files, we the American people should have on an easy-to-access website immediately in a very, very quick fashion. I'm pushing for that both privately and publicly, just so you know.
So here's the question. Erika now leads Turning Point USA. She claims she wants to carry forward Charlie's legacy, but the Epstein files, something Charlie clearly cared about, haven't been mentioned by her. Not once. Why the silence? And what about Lori? According to Erika, Charlie was Lori's favorite child. Lori has deep connections within government networks, yet there's been no public advocacy from her for the release of these files.
My mom and Charlie, they were best friends. I would always say that Charlie was her favorite child.
Nothing. That directly contradicts what Charlie fought for in his final days. Now we circle back to Romania. The connection to that country has become impossible to ignore. Leaked photos have emerged showing Lori's involvement with Romanian angels. Speculation is growing that something far darker was hidden within that organization. Let's talk about Erika's age when all of this began. She was only 17 or 18 years old when she launched her charity, Everyday Heroes Like You. One of the first major projects under that charity, Romanian Angels. And here's the twist. The project was allegedly backed by the US military. Does that sound normal to you? A teenager running an international charity operation with military backing? It raises an obvious question. Who was really in charge? It seems far more likely that Lori was pulling the strings from behind the curtain. And remember, Lori had direct military connections. In a video connected to the Romanian Angels, Erika publicly expressed her gratitude to someone named Colonel Otto Buscher. Remember that name? Because the next part of the story takes a dark and unsettling turn. A Romanian news piece from 2010 has come back into attention. According to it, a former translator made alarming claims. She stated that a brothel was running on a US military base in Romania, and that underage girls were being brought onto the premises. These claims led to a formal complaint being filed with the authorities. So what followed? Both Romanian and American officials began looking into the matter, but things get complicated here. A 2001 treaty between the two nations was cited, which transferred the investigation authority to the United States. The Americans claimed they would manage the inquiry, and reportedly, the case didn't seem to progress further. But the translator didn't just make vague accusations. She specifically named Commander Otto Buscher. She claimed he personally benefited from the alleged operation. Another article goes even further, alleging that Buscher attempted to delete files that reportedly included negotiations involving girls. These are not minor allegations. allegations. These are deeply disturbing claims. Now step back and look at the full picture. Epstein's financial connection to Romania is documented in court records. Erika and Lori are both tied to Romanian angels. Lori has extensive military and government connections, and all of these elements converge in one place. When you line them up side by side, the image that forms profoundly unsettling. Let's be clear, no direct accusations are being made here, but when every piece of this puzzle is placed on the table, the situation looks highly questionable. There are serious questions that remain unanswered, and the silence surrounding them only makes those questions louder.